Welcome back to the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network as we get ready for game number 2 of today's doubleheader between the home team, Bellevue University Bruins, and the visiting Dickinson State Blue Hawks out of Dickinson, North Dakota. The Bruins winning game number 1 of this doubleheader by a football score of 21-7. As we get ready for the final game of this 4-game set, the Bruins are now 24-5 overall, 11-0 in the North Star Athletic Association. The Blue Hawks now 12-18 overall, 4-7 in conference play. Here are the starting lineups for game number 2. For the visiting Blue Hawks, leading it off and playing second base will be Keanu Kalamayan. Batting second, the center fielder, Alberto Nieto. Batting third, the shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster. Batting fourth and playing third base is Dawson Cortese. Batting fifth, the catcher, Derek Calvillo. Batting sixth and playing first base will be Richie Cortese. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Cade Ostenson. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, Wyatt Wilharm. And batting ninth and playing right field, Jake Clinton. On the mound this afternoon for game number 2, Trent Richter for the Blue Hawks. We'll talk a little bit more about Trent and his teammates in just a moment. Let's take a look now at the Bellevue Bruins starting lineup for game number 2. Pretty similar to what we saw in game number 1 with one change. Leading off for the Bruins, center fielder Kanta Kobayashi. Batting second, the designated hitter Connor Barnett. Batting third and playing left field, Jake Lacey. The cleanup hitter is the catcher Logan Grant. Batting fifth and playing right field, Anthony Lind. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Nick Grade. Batting seventh and playing second base is Drew Staley. Batting eighth and playing first base will be Mathieu Sirois. And batting ninth, the shortstop, C.J. Townsend. On the mound for the Bruins, to try to finish off this 4-game sweep, will be Dustin Shorey. Dustin, the junior right-hander out of Chandler, Arizona.
Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 31, Nick Grant.
Grab the right stat sheet here to tell you a little bit more about Dustin's season so far. This will be his 5th appearance on the season, 4 of them as a starter. 2 wins, no losses, 1 save on the year in 15 innings worth of work. He's allowed 15 hits, 7 runs, 5 of them earned, has walked 5 and struck out 21, an earned run average of 3.00. So the Bruins trying to remain perfect in North Star Athletic Association baseball action, 11-0. With sweeps of Viterbo and Valley City earlier on, trying to do the same against these visiting Dickinson State Blue Hawks. The Bruins rated number 9 in the current NAIA national poll. We're just moments away from the start. The coaches and umpires have concluded their pregame ritual of exchanging lineup cards and reiterating the main ground rules once again. The Bruins on the first base side of the field, Bellevue wearing their purple jerseys with white and gold trim, gray pants, and purple stockings. The Blue Hawks will be in the third base dugout once again with their white uniform with navy blue trim.
For today's second game,
the Bruins won the opening game of this 4-game set by a score of 7-2. They won the second game yesterday by a score of 6-3, and then a slugfest in the first game today, 21-7, the final. The Bruins scoring 34 runs in the series to 12 for Dickinson State. Dickinson State got the long ball out in game number 1 today, in accounting for 4 home runs. But the Bruins, with 19 hits in game number 1, come away with a 21-7 victory. We started off the day with bright sunshine coming down on the John Stella Field in Brown Park. We've had some clouds move in, but they're very light cirrus-type clouds, so it's still a mostly sunny day, some filtered sunshine coming down. Looking forward to a high today in the low 70s, so springtime is here today, at least for today in the Omaha Bellevue area. Right now it is 72 degrees with just a very light wind out of the southwest, which means it's blowing from the left side to the right side. We've seen the flag also today kind of move straight away to center field. So it'll help a little bit on those balls pushed towards the right side of the outfield. And as the Bruins break huddle, Dustin Shorey, the big right-hander, will head to the mound to get his warm-up tosses. Let's set the Bruins defense across the infield. It'll be Mathieu Sirois at first base. Drew Staley is at second. C.J. Townsend is the shortstop. And the third baseman is Nick Grade. Across the outfield, Jake Lacey is in left, Kanta Kobayashi in center, and Anthony Lind in right. The battery for the Bruins behind the plate is Logan Grant and Dustin Shorey on the mound. Shorey picked up the big save in the Bruins' victory over the number one rated Southeast University Fire as part of that Florida trip. He's also collected a couple of wins as a starter. 2-0 his record in 15 innings of work. Coming back from an injury that kept him out of pitching for a couple of years, he's made a strong comeback for the Bruins. And obviously Bellevue hopes that will continue for the rest of the year and next year as well. Just a junior in eligibility. Once again, the Dickinson State batting order: Keanu Calamayan, Alberto Nieto, Ballas Buckmaster, and Dawson Cortese. Then Derek Calvillo, Richie Cortese, Cade Ostenson, Wyatt Wilharm, and Jake Clinton. All right, we're ready to go. Stepping to the plate to lead it off for the Blue Hawks, second baseman Keanu Calamayan. Calamayan, the .360 hitter coming into today's action. Here's the first pitch from Dustin Shorey. Moves him off the plate a little bit inside, ball one. Calamayan had 2 hits and scored 1 run in game number 1 today. Shorey, one of those guys who works exclusively from the stretch. Fastball hit back through the box. So Calamayan, a 3-hit day as he leads it off with a single to center field. Center fielder Alberto Nieto next to the plate. He and Cade Ostenson, both days of this 4-game set, have kind of flip-flopped between that 2-hole and bottom part of the order. Shorey working from the stretch again. Shows bunt, misses it. Strike one called. Coach Michael Dow trying to get his team on the board early. Dickinson State let the Bruins get away in game number 1. Again, the bunt put down. That's going to go back to the mound. Shorey picks it up with a bare hand and just in time gets it down to first base to Mathieu Sirois. Credit Alberto Nieto with the sacrifice bunt as Keanu Calamayan heads down to second base. Next up for the Blue Hawks, the shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster.
Ballas Buckmaster.
Buckmaster at .441 on the season. .550 on base percentage. Runner in scoring position. He has 17 runs batted in on the year. Here's the pitch from Shorey. Down low, ball one. Shorey can get that fastball up to home plate pretty quickly. Upper 80s to around 90 at times. Breaking ball, misses inside. 2-0 the count. Hitters count favoring Buckmaster. Ballas Buckmaster, I like the alliteration of that. Good baseball name. Had 2 hits, including a double in game number 1. Tardy on that fastball down the middle. Now 2-1. There's an example of the pop on the fastball from Dustin Shorey.
Get over half court shoes and ring.
A little flare to the right side. That's going to drop in front of Anthony Lynn, who charges hard. Can't come up with the baseball, however. The runner from second base, rounding all the way, It'll be an RBI single for Ballas Buckmaster as the Blue Hawks on the board first. As Keanu Kalamayan reached on a single, advanced on the sacrifice, and then comes home on the RBI by Buckmaster. Next up, third baseman Dawson Cortese. Cortese got the Blue Hawks back into the game in game number 1 with a 3-run home run to make it a 5-3 score at that time. But then the Bruins exploded for 16 more runs after that to win it 21-7. Slider from Shorey swung on and missed. Dawson Cortese averaging .412 on the year. That 3-run home run in game number 1 was his 7th of the season. Another slider, this one taken for a called strike 2. Quick throw over to Mathieu Serrois, the first baseman, to keep the runner Buckmaster close. Shorey looks in, gets his signal from Logan Grant. That one's hit in the air to the right side. Anthony Lynn will have room to make a play. He'll catch it for the second out of the inning. Ballas Buckmaster returns to first base. The 5-hole hitter, catcher Derek Calvillo, next up in the order. Calvillo has gone hitless this weekend. He would love to break out of it to help his team salvage one game out of this 4-game set. Right side, that one's going to tail foul. Down into the corner, Anthony Lynn will retrieve that as it bounces around back near the field of play. Michael Dahl in his 3rd year as the head coach of the Dickinson State program, previously the head coach at Presentation College in the North Star Athletic Association, runs through the signs for his batter and base runner. 0-1 the count. Chopper, that's going to be flagged down by Drew Staley. The throw to first, Mathieu Serrois will come off the base as Staley couldn't get the throw accurately as his body momentum was taking him away from the infield. And that'll be ruled an infield hit for Derek Calvillo. Buckmaster to second on the play. Good job by Staley to get to the ball as it tweenered between first and second. And a courtesy runner coming in for the catcher will be number 14 for Dickinson State. That is Nathaniel Jilk. The next batter, Richie Cortese. Cortese went yard twice in game number 1. Solo home runs both time. One to right field, one to left field. So a potent bat with 2 runners on base, but fortunately 2 out. Swing and a miss. Good movement on that pitch, going away from the left-handed hitter. Shorey comes set at the shoulders. Change up. Bottom drops out of that pitch as Cortese swings over the top. First strikeout of the game for Dustin Shorey. But the the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State come up with 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 2 base runners left on. Making 3 hits on that one. After a half inning of play, it's the Blue Hawks 1 and the Bellevue Bruins coming to bat. Let's take a look at the Dickinson State defense as the Bruins get ready for their first at-bats across the infield. It's Richie Cortese at first base. The second baseman is Keanu Kalamayan. The shortstop is Ballas Buckmaster, and Dawson Cortese is the third baseman. Across the outfield, Cade Ostenson is in left. center fielder is Alberto Nieto, and the right fielder is Jake Clinton. The battery for the Blue Hawks, Derek Calvillo will be behind the plate. And on the mound for this fourth game of the series, right-hander Trent Richter. Richter, a sophomore right-hander, 5'7", from Scotts Bluff, Nebraska, on the western edge of the state. This will be the 8th appearance of the year for Richter. Combination of starts and relief appearances, a 1-win, 3-loss record in 27 2/3 innings. He's allowed 40 hits, 26 runs, 15 of them earned, 2 walks, but 24 strikeouts. That's an outstanding 12 strikeouts to walk ratio, a 4.88 earned run average for Trent Richter. The first man he will face, Bellevue center fielder Kanta Kobayashi. Kanta, a 4-for-5 day in game number 1 today. 4 singles, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. Here's Richter. First pitch on the knees. Another unique pitching style for Trent Richter. Watch how that lead foot will be stepping about halfway between home and third base. A really close pitching staff. And he delivers. Breaking ball, tries to get the outside corner, but it stays wide. 1-1 on Kobayashi.
Yeah.
Kanta, the returning All-American player for the Bruins, swings at that pitch, fouls it back to the netting. Kanta hit .439 last year. A little bit below that lofty mark last year. Currently at .347. But a 4-for-5 day, that'll help the old batting average. Trying to get the Bruins started in the first. Lays off that pitch low, 2-2 the count. Derek Calvillo back behind the plate for his second game of the doubleheader, just as Logan Grant is catching for the Bruins. 3-2 as that one misses wide.
So my aunt was the head coach at UConn.
So Richter trying to keep the pitches away from Kanta Kobayashi. Here's the payoff pitch at 3-2. Kanta lines it hard, but right at the second baseman, two-hopper to Keanu Kalamayan, who'll retire Kanta on the 4-3 play. Kanta's been hitting the ball hard. Has a lot of atom balls over the last couple of weekends. Next up for the Bruins, designated hitter Connor Barnett. Connor with a 3-run home run as part of game 1. Also 2 RBIs on a double. So a 5 RBI day. And then whatever he can add to this one as well. First pitch, ball 1. A quick nod to head coach Dwayne Mondlix down at the third base coaching box. Connor stepping in. Fouls that one to the net. An injury-plagued junior year for Barnett, but he's still making the most of it, including those 5 runs batted in today. Again, hi to his grandparents listening in Colorado. Glad you're with us. Fouled back once again. Barnett, a returning first-team player from the NSAA squad last year. .354 Connor's batting average this year. Last year, Connor finished the season .388. Swings and misses, dropped at home play by the catcher. The tag at the plate will be the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down for the Bruins in inning number 1 of the scheduled 7-inning contest. Next batter for the Bruins, left fielder Jake Lacey.
Batting in third spot, the left fielder, Jake.
Lacey had 3 runs batted in game number 1 with a single and a sacrifice fly. Jake also scored 2 runs for the Bruins. Bellevue looking for its first hit of this second game. That one's fouled back to the screen. Again, we invite you to be part of our broadcast again in game number 2. Same text number, 402-515-7654. 1-1 count to Lacey. The pitch. Down low. Trent Richter on the mound for the Blue Hawks, his 4th start of the season. Working from the third base side of the pitcher's rubber. That very closed stance. That one's way wide. Oh, a hitter's count for Jake Lacey.
She's funny. Hey, she was funny that way. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good fit. I'm not thinking the right person.
Lacey will be looking for his favorite pitch in his favorite spot. Richter delivers. It's down low, so Jake Lacey becomes the first Bellevue base runner of game number 2 by earning the full count walk, or the 3-1 count walk. The Bruin catcher, Logan Grant, steps to the plate. Logan drove run out of the park in game number 1.
Batting in the cleanup spot. Catcher, Logan Grant.
3 RBIs on that home run as part of a 1-for-3 day in the opener. First pitch swinging, chop off his foot, foul ball. Bellevue now 15-1 in games here at John Stella Field at Brown Park. Bellevue has won 17 of their last 18 games. That's a pretty nice streak. Throw to first, it's going to be close and in time. Jake Lacey got caught leaning, and a quick throw from Trent Richter over to Richie Cortese retires the side. No runs, hits, errors, or left on base after 1 inning of play. Dickinson State 1, Bellevue nothing. Coming to you live from John Stella Field at Brown Park on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Mick Krupski here, back behind the microphone, along with Bill Mullins, co-sports information guy for Bellevue University. We're glad you're able to join us on this lovely spring day in the upper Midwest. Go Bruins, let's get the hit train going again. By the way, we think that the Blue Hawks have some of the best baseball names in the league so far. I would agree. There's a couple of guys with some great baseball names. We mentioned Ballas Buckmaster. That's a good one. Keanu Kalamayan. You know, these multisyllabic names, they're kind of fun names to say. The Cortese brothers. Bruins have some fun names to say, too, so we won't say them because we don't want to slight anybody, but a lot of fun names to say. My favorite Bellevue name of all time, though, is a Bellevue basketball player who graduated about 3 or 4 years ago. Olatola Olashola.
That was about 7 years ago, Mick.
7? Oh, God. Time just keeps slipping away. Isn't that a song? I'll think of that song. I'll sing it to you in between innings sometime. Olatola Olashola. I remember he was from Dallas, Texas, played for the Bruins basketball squad, or Tola for short. But here we go at the top of the second inning. Left fielder Cade Ostenson will lead things off. Ostenson had a home run in yesterday's action. Late on the fastball from Dustin Shorey. If Shorey can keep that fastball up there, it's going to be hard for Blue Hawk batters, any batters, to catch up with it up there just above the top of the zone. Shoots for the outside corner, but ends up wide, 1-1 the count. Two and 1 the count now, as that one also misses away. Ostenson hitting .237. Shorey looks in and now delivers. That one goes behind the bat. It grazes the back of Cade Ostenson. So once again, Blue Hawks will get their leadoff guy on as Cade Ostenson trots down to first base. Just a glancing blow off his back as Wyatt Wilharm steps to the plate.
Now batting the designated hitter, Wyatt Wilhelm.
Wilharm getting the start here in game number 4. Shows bunt. Up the third base line, charging hard is Nick Grade. A great athletic play by Grade to barehand that perfectly located bunt. On the play, Austinson advancing to second, but a second perfectly placed sacrifice bunt in back-to-back innings for Dickinson State. Nieto had the first one, and now Wilharm got that one. 5-3 for the first out. That'll bring to the plate right fielder Jake Clinton. Clinton had a pinch hit home run to center field in the first game today. He'll get the nod here in right field. First pitch, slider, breaks over the inner half, called strike one. All 7 of the runs in game number 1 for Dickinson State came via the long ball, including the 2-run home run from Clinton. Foul out of play, right side. 0-2. Dawson Cortese had 3 runs batted in on his home run. And then Richie Cortese had 2 solo shots. Shorey trying to dispatch Clinton with the 0-2 count. Grant sets up on the inner half. That's where it goes. Chopper. C.J. Townsend at short on the 2-hopper across the diamond to Sirois. And there are 2 away. No advance by the base runner. Good base running. Don't want to try to run into an out at third on a ball hit in front of you. Back to the top of the order now. Here is the second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan.
Back at the top of the order for the Blue Hawks, second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan.
It's all about making money. Star players got to do good.
Kalamayan, excuse me, singled his first time up and scored the only run of the game to this point. 1-0 lead for the Blue Hawks. Slider, nice location. Just on the inner part of the plate. A few more folks have joined us on this pleasant day. Sun shining not as brightly as it did earlier on, but it still feels awful good. Just a gentle breeze out of the southwest. Chopper up the third base side. Nick Grade, who made a great play a moment ago, makes a routine play here. And the side is retired in the top of the second. No runs on no hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base after an inning and a half. Dickinson State 1, Bellevue University 0. Game 2, Hubba Hubbas. Go Bruins. The Sakamotos here in person today, journeying away from their home in Bakersfield, California to join us in Omaha, Nebraska. Don't know if they made the journey by plane or by vehicle, but by vehicle, you're talking about probably a 1,500-mile trip, maybe more, 2,000. By plane, it's at least a couple of different changes of flights to get between there and here. Bruins will be sending up the middle part of the order in the bottom of the second inning. Grant, Lind, and Grade as Trent Richter back to the mound to work.
Just a little under 1,600.
A little under 1,600 miles between Omaha and Bakersfield. Quite a distance to travel as well between Omaha and Dickinson, North Dakota. A 12-hour plus bus ride, 12, maybe 14 hours. Out in the west central part of the state of North Dakota in the mountain time zone. Here we go with catcher Logan Grant leading it off. He was at the plate when Lacey got picked off last inning. There's a line drive to center field. Nieto has to play it on a bounce. Thought at one time he might be trying to come on to make a dive at that, but he plays it safely. And Logan Grant picks up the first hit of the Bruins in this second game. And just as he reaches first base, Takumi Mayeno comes on as the courtesy runner. We've seen Takumi a lot this season on the bags for the catchers. Next up, right fielder Anthony Lind. Low on the first delivery from Trent Richter. Anthony had a double as part of a 1-for-4 game number 1 today. Another snap throw over to first. Mayano back in plenty of time. Richter likes to work from the third base side of the pitcher's rubber. Popped up on the infield. Richie Cortese, the first baseman, will take charge of that one and catch it for the first out of the inning. Here's third baseman Nick Grade.
Now at the plate, the third baseman, number 31.
Nick had a home run as part of a 2-hit day in game number 1, a solo home run back in the 5th inning. Bellevue put up a lot of crooked numbers in that game number 1. You have to in order to accumulate 21. It's the second time this year, second time in a week that the Bruins have put up 21 runs. They beat Valley City State last weekend by a score of 21-0 in the finale of that 4-game set. Again, the snap throw. Mayano leaning, but he gets back in time. A throw closer to the bag would have been interesting. So quick feet by Trent Richter. That's what makes him effective as a right-hander. You get those feet moving quickly and your arm will follow suit. Again, and again a close play. As a base runner here, you want to watch the back heel of the pitcher, the contact heel. If you see it come up in the air, you know he's coming your way. Again, that one's an easier read for Takumi. Dickinson State aware of Takumi's many steals on the season. Close to a quick pitch there, called strike. Takumi with 9 stolen bases on the year for the home team. Popped up on the infield once again, and again it's Richie Cortese, the first baseman, calling for it. Now he drifts. It's going to drop in fair territory. But an alert play by the second baseman, Keanu Kalamaya, to field on the hop. Takumi Mayano was kind of hung up, nowhere to go, thinking the ball was going to be caught. He stayed close to first base. Base hit.
Fielder's choice.
Oh, fielder's choice. Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah. So 3-6 on the putout of Mayano. 4-6. Thank you. The second baseman to the shortstop. Fielder's choice for Grade. He's the runner at first and the batter at the plate. Second baseman Drew Staley. Drew takes the first pitch, breaking ball for a called strike 1. Staley was part of that hit parade in game number 1. He had a couple of base hits and a couple of RBIs. Popped up in the air right side. That will get out of play behind the Bruins dugout.
On base percentage dropped to 519.
519 on base percentage. Down in the count, 0-2. Staley awaits the next pitch from Trent Richter. Again, to throw over to first base. Richter paying a lot of attention to Bellevue base runners. Grade gets back up and resumes his lead. That's going to drop into right center field. Grade round second. He's going to get to third on the play. Bobbled momentarily out in the outfield. It won't affect the outcome of the play, so Drew Staley with another base hit. Nick Grade at third, runners at the corners, and the batter will be Mathieu Sirois, the first baseman.
Now batting the first baseman, Mathieu 2, Sirois.
But first, a little visit from the home plate umpire to Dwayne Monlix at third base. Not sure what that's all about. We very seldom see the umpire go down to third base to have a conversation, but whatever it was brief, and we're back to the action. An RBI opportunity for Sirois. First baseman today for the Bruins in this second game, Trad Richardson, filled that spot in game number 1. First pitch inside, ball 1. Sirois had a 2-run base hit in today's first game, coming on late as a pinch hitter. Lays off that pitch as it breaks outside. Two and 0 the count. Swing and a miss. Richter took a little something off that velocity on the breaking ball. Now 2 and 1 the count. Staley, the runner at first. Diving back to the bag safely. Breaking ball, Mathieu takes that one off the front shoulder on the hit by pitch. He will head down to first base, and the bases are full of Bruins. So a 2-out opportunity, bases loaded chance for C.J. Townsend, the Bruins shortstop. C.J. had a good game number 1 as well today. Had a couple of hits, couple of RBIs. He was up 4 times and scored all 4 times. The Bruins' bottom half of the order, very effective in game number 1. So let's see if Drew can come through here. Get the Bruins on the board. Lays off the breaking ball, low, ball 1. Line hard, but right at the third baseman. Dawson Cortese makes the stop. Had to move only 1 step to his glove hand side to rob Townsend of a base hit and the Bruins of some runs to retire the side. So no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 3 men left on base after 2 innings of play. Dickinson State 1, Bellevue nothing. So CJ got the barrel of the bat on the ball that time, but an atom ball, the play made by Dawson Cortese.
Either a really good story or a really bad story.
With the thin, high clouds that have rolled into the area, the outfielders are grateful for that, especially Kanta Kobayashi in center field and Anthony Lynn in right. As the day goes on, the visibility with the setting sun becomes more apparent. Long way from that at just a little after 3:30 in the afternoon. But one less thing to worry about if that's the case. Again, a beautiful day, temperature in the low 70s, a gentle wind out of the southwest. And sitting here at the old ballpark watching baseball. Top of the 3rd inning, it'll be center fielder Berto Nieto leading things off. His sacrifice bunt pushed Calamayan into scoring position for the first run of the game for Dickinson. Strike 1 called on the slider, or perhaps a cut fastball from Dustin Shorey. Dustin working from the first base side of the rubber as opposed to the third base side where Trent Richter likes to work. Low on his second pitch, 1-1 the count.
That's an outfit, isn't it?
Yeah, like a gold Z
Dustin comes set and delivers. Again, that little movement on the pitch going away from the right-handed batter gets back ahead in the count, 1-2.
Auditioning for a role in a Zoolander sequel?
Pop back to the screen, heads up at the plate. Got to have your head on a swivel when you're umpiring and catching and batting from these rebounds off the net. Nieto hitting .323 on the season coming into today's action. Leading things off in the top of the third. Hit in the air to left field. Jake Lacey has a good beat on it, and he'll grab it for the first out of the inning. Next up, Dallas Buckmaster does a little landscaping with his cleats as he gets into the batter's box.
Now batting the shortstop, Dallas Buckmaster.
Buckmaster had the RBI that gave his team the current 1-0 lead. First pitch swinging in the air to right field. Anthony Lynn going back. He's at the warning track. He'll run out of room. And just over the top of the fence in right field, Dallas Buckmaster now has both of the RBIs for Dickinson State with the solo home run. 2-0 lead for the visitors from North Dakota. Went with the fastball over the outer half of the plate, made good contact, and Anthony Lynn crashed into the fence. Didn't get over by much, but that doesn't matter. It's the fact that it did get over. So Dawson Cortese will step to the plate. He flew out to right his first time up. So add Dallas Buckmaster's name to the list of Blue Hawks who have hit home runs today. 4 different Dickinson State players have gone yard today. 4th home run of the year for Buckmaster. That pitch misses in. 4 home runs and now 19 runs batted in for the shortstop. Again inside. 2-1 the count on Cortese, the Laurel, Montana native.
You guys won the first 2 today against Presentation.
Presentation
Still over.
There's a nicely located fastball, outer half. Count evens up at 2-2.
2-2 or 3-2?
I have 2-2.
Shorey with the pitch. Just misses the inside corner. So the count will go full. Shorey wants the appeal to the first base umpire. Now they will. And he says no. Home plate umpire shaking his head slightly with that request, but he followed up on it. Good for him. Line hard against the screen. Count remains at 3-2. Dawson Cortese, the leading run batted in guy for the Blue Hawks. He'll foul another one out of play up near W Street. Still waiting for the leaves to pop out of the trees, ringing Brown Park, especially on the center and right field side and behind the backstop. Maybe we'll see a few buds next weekend. Again, the payoff pitch. Again, hit in the air, but out of play down the right side. Oh, power pitcher against a power hitter here. And with so many foul balls, we have to go to the bench, bring in some new ones. Austin Alexander, the Bruins volunteer assistant coach. Former player for Bellevue, now in his 3rd year, right, as assistant?
Awesome.
Yeah. I think he's originally from Alabama. Adger, Alabama. Thanks again to Bill Mullins sitting beside me for the ball games once again today. Hit on the ground to second. Drew Staley looks it into his glove. The throw to first in time to retire Dawson Cortese. So 2 out in the inning, nobody on. The batter will be the catcher, Derek Calvillo. Reached on an infield single his first time up in this one, his first hit of the weekend.
Derek Calvillo.
Calvillo just over the 300 mark, 307 coming into action today. Takes the first pitch outside. The flag on the pole in center field waving a little more briskly now than what we saw in game number 1. Fastball misses in, 2-0. We're expecting another up and down weather week. A couple of days with highs in the 70s, a couple of days with highs in the 40s. That's springtime in Nebraska.
Approaching 80 on Tuesday.
Line foul, right side, out of play. Near 80 on Tuesday, did you say? 2-1 the count on the Blue Hawk catcher. Again, same place. Foul ball. Now the count at 2-2.
Just one hit this inning. So
Yeah.
Dustin gets his signal from Logan Grant, comes set and delivers, and that's going to be a swing. They say no. The appeal to the first base umpire. He says no. Calvillo able to hold up in his opinion. None of the Bellevue players or coaches agree with that opinion, but his is the only one that counts. So a full count on Derek Calvillo, trying to keep the inning going for his team. But that's a called strike 3. Looking, and the side is retired. Second strikeout of the game for
1 hit, 1 run.
Dustin Shorey. 1 run on 1 hit, the solo home run by Ballas Buckmaster. No errors, nobody left on base after 2.5. Dickinson 2, Bellevue nothing. As the Bruins trying to get the offense going in game number 2. All right, one final time I'll throw out the text message number if you want to join us yet today on this sunny Sunday afternoon. It's 402-515-7654. Haven't heard from too many Dickinson State fans today. We've heard from a couple yesterday, but Dickinson fans or Bellevue fans, if you'd like to join us today, always fun to hear where you're listening. Bellevue put up 19 hits in the 6 innings that they were at bat in game number 1, winning by the 10-run rule. Only 2 hits in their first 2 innings of batting in this second one. Trent Richter back to the mound for Dickinson State. Simon Falcon, our public address announcer this afternoon. You hear his voice in the background of the broadcast. First baseball game of the season. Where have you been, Simon? You working or something? Jeez, Simon, the former assistant cross-country coach for the Bruins.
It's not work season, it's baseball season. Let's get it together.
Bruins will be starting with the top of the order. Kanta Kobayashi will lead things off, second time through the order for the home team against starting pitcher Trent Richter.
Leading off for the Bruins, number 15, Kanta Kobayashi.
First pitch swinging, foul out of play behind the third base dugout. Richter from Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. Western part of the state, just the opposite side from where Omaha and Bellevue are located, hugging the Missouri River. Scotts Bluff hugging Wyoming. On the back outside corner for the called strike 2. Scotts Bluff National Monument, very pretty sight out there to visit if you're in that area. Chimney Rock, not too far away.
Upstairs, Richter tries to get Conta to chase. He does not. And Conta is hit by the pitch, so he'll be the leadoff guy on to the bottom of the third inning. Bellevue has had a ton of guys hit in this weekend series, at least 7 or 8, maybe more, as Bellevue players not afraid to take a little pain to get on base. Here's designated hitter Connor Barnett.
Connor Barnett.
That was the 7th of the series.
7th of the series on that one off the ankle of Conta. A little flare to the right side. Richie Cortese somehow able to juggle the catch and then double up Conta Kobayashi. It was in and out of the glove of Cortese 3 or 4 times. Glove, hand, glove again, hand again, and finally corrals it. And poor Kobayashi, nothing to do on the play. He just kind of got hung up. So an unusual double play made by Richie Cortese.
The third spot, the left fielder, Jake Lacey.
Are we just chasing everything off right now?
Here's Jake Lacey, the left fielder. First pitch swinging, that's hit deep to left center field. Left fielder at the track, he won't make the catch. It bangs off the wall, and so does the left fielder, Austenson. It'll be a 2-out double for Jake Lacey, just a couple of feet shy of another home run. Cade Austenson looks like he's going to be okay. He hit awkwardly against the fence. Not able to quite get there in time. So Jake Lacey on base for the second time in this one after a walk his first time up. Here's catcher Logan Grant. Logan got the first hit of this game for the Bruins, his first time up. The 4-hole hitter for the Bruins.
If he had it to do
Breaking ball comes into the zone. Strike one call. Logan, a big 3-run home run in the opener today. Line hard, but the second shortstop, playing him right there up the middle. The throw across the diamond in time. Good placement, good positioning by the shortstop, Ballas Buckmaster, to be there, make the catch, and make the throw. No runs on one hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. The Bruins have stranded 4 through the first 3 innings. Game number 2 is the 7-inning contest, so the Bruins want to try to get something going on their next opportunity in support of starting pitcher Dustin Shorey, who heads back out to the mound. We've got a text from somebody I'm assuming is a Dickinson State fan. Coach Monlux is a Blue Hawk at heart. Love from Coach Watson. We'll have to remind Coach about that or tell him about that from Coach Watson, I'm assuming, at DSU.
former Dickinson coach. He's their Legion coach up in Dickinson now.
All right. Bill tells me a former Dickinson coach, Legion baseball coach up in the Dickinson area as well. Glad you're joining us today on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Yeah, Coach Monlux was a three sports star at Dickinson State University back when he played. Not too terribly long ago, but it's been a few years. Football, basketball, and baseball. Has been at Bellevue University now for 13 years as the head coach after several years as the head coach at Dickinson. Leading it off at the top of the 4th inning for the Blue Hawks, first baseman Richie Cortese, who made that juggling double play in the last half inning to thwart the Bruins' threat. That's hard to say, thwart the threat. First pitch is low, ball 1.
Little goofy at times.
Chop foul at the plate. Another side note to the Coach Dwayne Monlux's career, he also played some arena football when he was younger. The Omaha Beef was a member of that arena football league when he played for the Wyoming something or others. And I was the PA announcer for the Omaha Beef for their first 3 years. So I don't remember it, but I probably said his name during one of the games at the old Omaha Civic Auditorium. 2-1 the count on Cortese.
Is there a school or team in Omaha you haven't announced for, Mill?
That's what happens. You get old, you've been around everywhere. Chop foul up the first base side. Hey, nice play by somebody at the end of the bench. Yeah, the good old Omaha Beef. They're still in existence. I think this is their 15th year of being around. Chopped up that same way again. And the pitching coach, Cameron Guevara, making the play for Dickinson State in the coaching box. Shorey wants a different baseball.
Sioux City Bandits.
Football team?
Sioux City Bandits is one of them.
Swung and a miss. Nice location for that high heater. Cortese couldn't catch up to that one. The third strikeout of the game for Dustin Shorey. Next up, left fielder Cade Ostenson.
Now plate, the left fielder, Cade Austinson.
Ostenson was hit by the pitch his first time up to be a base runner, was stranded back in the second inning. First pitch fastball hit well, but right at Kanta Kobayashi. Now he has to come in a couple of steps as he got a good read. Hit hard, but Kanta making the play out in center field. That's one of the hardest plays for any outfielder, the line drive that's hit right at you. You can't really get an angle at it. You don't know if it's going to carry over your head or if you have to come in and charge. He'll make the play. Now 2 outs in the inning. And the batter, the designated hitter, Wyatt Wilharm.
Designated hitter, Wyatt.
A sacrifice bunt, his first time up. So officially 0 for 0. Nice slider. Good bite on that pitch from Shorey. Bellevue University softball also in action this weekend. That one's hit hard to left field. Jake Lacey on his horse, and he'll make the catch. So 2 balls hit hard, but Bellevue outfielders up to the task to make the play. A 3-up, 3-down top of the 4th inning for Dickinson State. As we head to the bottom of the 4th, our score remains Dickinson State 2, Bellevue University 0. Back to the softball thought. Bellevue softball split with Valley City State this weekend in Omaha. Bellevue winning the first game of the doubleheader yesterday 7-3, but falling 8-5 in the second game. Split the results today. Again, a 1-1 split today. Bellevue dropping the first game 11-3, but winning the nightcap 8-2. So 2-2 split with Valley City. Bellevue softball predicted to be the #1 team in the North Star Athletic Association in the coaches' preseason poll. The Bruins picked #1 in baseball once again. Bellevue won the conference last year with a 25-2 record and undefeated in the conference tournament to win another trip to the NAIA opening round, and then after winning that to the NAIA World Series. Dickinson State predicted to finish in the 3rd spot in the 8-team league this year, with Dakota State in between those 2 teams. Leading off the bottom of the 4th for the home team, right fielder Anthony Lind.
Leading off the Bruins, right fielder Anthony Lind.
Anthony popped out his first time up, trying to get things going for the Bruins before they run out of time in this game #2. Shows bunt, takes it for a called strike 1. Anthony thought it was low. Home plate umpire did not agree. Anthony hits it into center field. Will it drop or will it carry? It'll carry, as Alberto Nieto will make the catch for the first out of the inning. Another ball that was hit pretty well on the line, but right at the outfielder. Here's third baseman Nick Grade, as the wind may be picking up just a little bit more in intensity, blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner.
Nick Grade.
which is kind of more out of the northwest than the southwest if it's blowing that way. Swing and a miss by Nick. Trent Richter back on the mound for his 4th inning of work as the starter for Dickinson State. Again, a swing and a miss on a pitch with some movement away. A little action in the Dickinson State bullpen, but Richter has been in command. No runs on 3 hits thus far. Bruins have had base runners in every inning. Stranded the bases loaded in the 2nd, left a guy in scoring position last inning as well. Just off the outside corner. Catcher Derek Calville held it there a split second longer, wanting the call. Didn't get it, so Grade stays alive at 1-2. Gabe Lundbeck loosening up in the bullpen for Dickinson State. Nick Grade got a hold of that one. Heading out of here and gone. Nick Grade with a solo home run puts the Bruins on the board in the bottom of the 4th inning. Got the pitch he wanted down the heart of the plate, and Grade gave it a ride. 10th home run of the year, 2nd of the day, 1 in each game for Nick Grade. The score now, Dickinson 2, Bellevue 1. As the Bruins' 3rd baseman went yard once again.
He didn't hit home runs at his junior.
Batting next, the second baseman.
Here's 2nd baseman Drew Staley.
Usually, he hits home runs.
Takes a pitch on the outer half for the called strike 1. Breaking ball, called strike 2. Bill was just saying that Nick Grade, not a real home run threat at his junior college, but he's in double digits in home runs as a Bellevue Bruin this year. Staley trying to battle back from an 0-2 deficit. And they'll say it hit off his elbow. And that will bring Michael, I was wondering what was going to take him so long. Michael Dow coming out of the dugout to contest that last call. Derek Calvillo, the catcher, also having a word with the home plate umpire there. Here's Nick Grade's college line. In 83 games played in junior college at Columbia Basin College, only 7 home runs. An average of .296, .399 on base percentage.
Batting, first baseman.
So he's showing some thump as a Bellevue Bruin as Matheus Serras steps in. Down low on the first pitch from Richter. So down 0-2 in the count. Drew Staley found a way to get on board. The ball just clipped off the edge of his elbow.
12th hit by pitch.
12th hit by pitch. Team leader in that category. Richter to throw over to first base. Staley back in plenty of time.
He might be among the national leaders now.
Richter comes set at the belt. Delivers, smash down the left field line by Serwas, but got ahead of the pitch and fouled it. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Serwas started his college career at Clarendon College. 2nd year as a Bellevue Bruin, the 6'3" sophomore. 2nd team all-conference player last year. Lays off that pitch wide. 2-1 now the count. A long look down to Dwayne Monlich's. Whole bunch of signs. Let's see if Staley might be in motion on this or one of the succeeding pitches. He'll go back to the bag on that one as Richter was thinking along those same lines. Back to the set position. The pitch off the outside edge. Now 3-1 the count.
What? There's 21 bombs already. That's ridiculous.
He went to Arkansas and then Houston. And then.
Why is he a cumber?
And now he's at the NSAA.
Didn't play school when he was there?
I don't think so.
All right.
Mathieu hits it on the ground to third, but it's going to be a foul ball just outside the third base bag. Fielded deep by Dawson Cortese.
Juicing numbers. Maybe, I don't know.
Is his first year there? I don't know, but I did hear
Full count now on Mathieu Sirois. Just one out, so Staley does not have to go, but
As long as you finish your cycle.
I think it's a good idea for him to be in motion here.
it's like random, but I don't know. But they,
Richter ready. Sirois ready. Staley goes. Sirois hits it deep down the left field line. That's another moonshot for Mathieu Sirois. That one leaped deep into the parking lot. Bill's going to have to try to estimate the distance on that one. Sirois with a 460-foot blast last weekend. He joins that one this time to left field. And Mathieu Sirois with a 2 RBI home run. The Bruins are on top, 3-2. That brings the Bellevue crowd and team to its feet.
We're going to ballpark that in the 440 range.
All right, Bill estimates 440 feet range on Mathieu Sirois' 6th home run of the year. Now 20 runs batted in for the sophomore from Quebec City, Canada. And that'll bring a visit from the pitching coach, Cameron Guevara, to talk with this starting pitcher.
He's got 7.
Bellevue has had a base runner on in every inning, but now here in the 4th, they finally break through and put up a 3 spot. The RBI by Nick Grade on the solo home run got it started, and the 2 RBIs on the 2-run home run for Mathieu Sirois as C.J. Townsend tries to keep the inning going. Still just 1 out in the inning.
Shortstop, C.J. Townsend.
Townsend lined out hard his first time up, speared at third base. Breaking ball for a called strike 1.
Iowa hitters for 2 outs.
CJ hits the ball on the nose to center field. On comes Nieto. He'll have to play it on a hop. So CJ picks up another hit on the day, his first of this game, after picking up a couple in game number 1. So the Bruins continue to put pressure. Back to the top of the order, now the 3rd time through against Trent Richter as Kanta Kobayashi steps in. Kanta was hit by a pitch his last time up. Shows bunt, takes it low. Dawson Cortese, the third baseman, charging, but no contact there. He'll play way in. He's a good 10 to 12 feet in front of the third base bag, trying to take the bunt away from Kanta up the third baseline. Runner goes on the hit and run, chopped high off the ground. Cortese at third has to wait for it to come down. The old Baltimore chop base hit for Kanta Kobayashi. For those of you who don't know what that Baltimore chop is, Baltimore ballpark, they used to keep the ground in front of home plate very hard so the hitters could chop down, and plays like that would result. So the 5th hit of the day for Kanta Kobayashi, the first in this game, will bring up Connor Barnett. Townsend at second, Kobayashi at first, Barnett at the plate. The Bruins with 3 runs across in the inning, trying to get some more. Low and away, ball 1. A southpaw now throwing in the Dickinson bullpen. As Barnett awaits. On the outside corner, good location by Richter. A righty and a lefty throwing for Dickinson in the bullpen. Situational time.
29 is the righty.
Richter comes set, delivers to Barnett. Swing and a miss.
21 the lefty.
21 is the lefty Carlos Molina Jr. We saw him for a bit yesterday. And 29 the righty Tate Williams. We saw him as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on Connor Barnett. Connor played some high school games here as a player for the Papillion La Vista Monarchs against the South High Packers. Fouls that one out of play. And has played a ton more as a member of the Bellevue Bruins, now in his 3rd year. Still just 1 out in the inning. On the outside corner, just clipped the zone. Connor not happy with the call, but he goes down looking for the 2nd out of the inning. Hit the upper outer part of the plate. And a visit from Michael Dow, the head coach for Dickinson State. And we may have a pitching change here before Jake Lacey steps in. And we do. The signal to the bullpen. Let's see if it's the righty or the lefty as the day is done. For starter, Trent Richter. He cannot win the game. He could. He is on the hook as a losing pitcher right now, allowing 3 runs on 7 hits.
4.
And striking out 2. All right, number 29, Tate Williams comes into the game.
So they recently changed to Presta Sports or something?
Yeah, officially. 2 years ago.
So Williams will come on here with 2 on, 2 out. In the top of the 4th inning, Tate Williams is a 6-foot freshman from Vail, Arizona.
Presta's a lot closer to what the NCAA uses.
Now pitching for the Blue Hawks.
This will be the 6th appearance on the year for Tate Williams. He's thrown 4 2/3 innings. Has only allowed 1 hit, 2 runs, none of them earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. A perfect 0.00 earned run average thus far in that limited amount of time, 4 2/3 innings.
I think we've had some baseball players do that. Only one of the guys up here.
Williams came on in relief of Kobe Krenz in the first game of the series. He threw well, shutting down the Bruins. No runs in 3 innings of relief work. Gave up some hits, but didn't allow any runs yesterday. Dickinson State fans, players, coaches hoping they'll do the same here today on the 2nd day against the Bellevue Bruins. 3 runs in the inning for the home team. The solo home run from Nick Grade. The 2-run home run from Mathieu Sirois.
I'd heard about that, but I didn't believe it.
Townsend at second, Kobayashi at first, and stepping to the plate will be Jake Lacey.
At San Jose.
Lacey a double his last time up, walked the first time.
There's a guy on my team that would be a home run shit.
Yeah. UConn they did.
Oh, yeah.
It was, you get throw a few bucks at every kid.
So a chance for the Bruins to extend their current 1-run lead. Behind the bat of Jake Lacey, the Gillette, Wyoming native steps in. He's ready to go.
Like, you can't be a D1 football or basketball player, do you?
I'm thinking back, there was this, our third baseman's girlfriend.
The throw to second base.
A lot of times it's like there's somebody.
Right.
C.J. Townsend, aware of the situation, didn't wander off too far, so now he'll get back to his lead as William checks for the signal from his catcher.
Yeah, when I go back and get my
Lined hard up the middle. That's going to get through for the base hit. Here comes Townsend rounding third. The throw to home plate will be cut off. An RBI single by Jake Lacey extends the lead to 2. 4-2 our score. Kobayashi stopping at second base on the play. A big base hit from Jake Lacey. Another game, another RBI for Jake Lacey. He had 3 in game number 1 and adds another one right here. Logan Grant steps in, the 9th batter of the inning for the Bruins. The Bruins batted around 3 times in 6 innings in game number 1. This is the first time in this game that all 9 players have gone to the plate. Logan takes the first pitch up high, ball 1. So that run will be charged to the starter, Trent Richter, not to reliever Tate Williams.
stuff that's going to be, so AI wrote this, not a person.
Grant takes a breaking ball for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to count here.
I always enjoyed taking, like, tests and quizzes and stuff when I was in school. Like, I feel like you had to retain information better. Like, papers are fine, whatever, but I feel like you didn't really
That one's hit well to center field. Nieto going back. He's at the warning track. He'll turn it. Bangs off the wall. In play. Here comes the runner around third. 1 run is in. Second one also as well. That's a great dive at home play by Jake Lacey to work around the catcher. A 2 RBI double by Logan Grant. Oh, the Bruin bats took a little while to wake up in the second game of the doubleheader, but Bellevue has now delivered a 6th spot. As Lacey scored as the trailing runner, Kobayashi scoring as the lead runner. Both runners on the move with 2 outs on the big hit by Logan Grant. Takumi Mieno comes in as the courtesy runner, and Anthony Lynn steps in to bat. Another runner in scoring position, and the breaking ball, a called strike 1. So 5 of the 6 runs will be charged to starter Trent Richter. Tate Williams responsible for 1 run in the inning, also responsible for the runner at second. Down low.
my last semester.
So his 0.00 earned run average is gone, but Williams still trying to work out of difficulty in this bottom of the 4th inning.
Another one, I only went because you got a free letter grade bump if you made all your classes. It's like, yeah, all right, I'll go.
Breaking ball. That one's hit to deep center field. Again, Nieto going back, looking for room. And he will run out of room. It's off the hitting background. A 2-run home run for Anthony Lind. The Bruins playing long ball once again as Anthony rounds the bases. Takumi Mieno scores ahead of him. 2 more runs on the board. The Bruins put up 8 runs in the inning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 8 runs on 7 hits in the inning. As Nieto, the center fielder, went up to try to steal that home run, but lost his glove. It came off his hand. Somebody in the parking lot out there had to retrieve it for him. So Tate Williams will be done. He faces 4 batters in the inning. Excuse me, 3 batters in the inning and allows a single, a double, and a home run. So another call to the bullpen for Dickinson State. A right-hander coming on. Number 17 is Cade Kazmersky. Cade Kazmersky. Kazmersky appeared a little bit yesterday as well. In relief, he'll get another opportunity here to try to slow down the Bruins offense, which has sparked an 8-run lead. Kazmersky and his catcher, Derek Calvillo, having a little extended discussion over what set of signals they want to use with the Bruin runner. No Bruin runners on base. They just want to make sure they're on the same page. Third pitcher of the game. Actually, third pitcher of the inning for Dickinson State. 8 runs on 7 hits. Some timely hitting by the Bruins with home runs from Nick Grade and Mathieu Sirois. And RBI hits, well, and Anthony Lynn with the home run as well. And then RBI hits by Logan Grant and Jake Lacey as well. So Cade Kazmierski will get his 8 warm-up pitches as a relief pitcher coming in at an inning. And the Bruins feeling a little bit more comfortable. One more text message. Fun fact, Tate has a cousin who played center field for Bellevue in the early 2000s, Trent Henderson. I'm assuming that's Trent Williams, the pitcher from Dickinson State. Yeah, that comes from the Williams family watching from Vail. Thank you for that fun fact. We appreciate hearing that. Bill's looking up.
Now batting, the third baseman.
Those details as we get back to the action. Here's third baseman Nick Grade. Grade with the home run. First pitch from Kazmierski is upstairs. Yeah, because Grade had the solo home run with 1 out to get the Bruins on the board. And then 7 more Bruins scored after him. Strike call. So Grade steps back in. Upstairs now 2-1 the count. Kazmierski, this is his 9th appearance, all in relief, 9 in the 3rd innings on the year, a 4.82 earned run average. And that one plunks the Bruin third baseman, so he becomes a base runner. He's been on 3 times. Yeah. And now, what did you say before? 7 hit by pitches, now the 8 on that last one. Here's Drew Staley, the second baseman.
Now batting, second baseman.
What did Drew do his last time up? I forgot to mark it down.
Oh, he was hit by a pitch.
Hit by pitch. Okay, that was our previous discussion then. First pitch, fastball, called strike 1. Drew a single in the second, hit by pitch in the 4th, where we currently are. The Bruins with 8 runs on the board. Don't see a lot of 8 spots. That one's hit in the air to center, but it'll stay in the park. Alberto Nieto adjusts slightly to the right field side. He'll make the catch to retire Staley and the Bruins in the 4th inning. 8 runs on 7 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base as we head to the 5th. Our score, the Bellevue Bruins 8, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks 2. So a solid start by pitcher Trent Richter turns into an 8-run outburst by the Bruins in the 4th inning. As we head to the 5th inning, it'll be the 9-1-2 part of the Dickinson State batting order to face Dustin Shorey. Well, Shorey has to feel confident after that big 8 spot. His teammates picking him up. 2 runs on 4 hits for Dickinson State. 8 runs on 10 hits for the Bruins. Well, the Bruins had a string of over a dozen 10-plus hit games come to an end last weekend, but Bruins right back at it. 19 hits in game number 1 of this doubleheader, 10 hits right now through the first 4. Bellevue had 16 hits in game number 1 of this series, only 7 in game number 2. All right, let's get ready to go with the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Jake Clinton to lead things off, the right fielder. for the Dickinson State Blue Hawks.
Leading off the Blue Hawks, the right fielder, Jake Clinton.
As I just remembered, I have a brownie sitting in front of me here. Hey, post-game treat. First pitch swung on and fouled away by Clinton.
They're really good brownies for sandwich shop.
Shorey continuing to work out of the stretch as he had all game. Just misses the inside corner on that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Swings and misses as that sharp breaking slider. Jake Clinton, another one of those Montana guys. He's from Lewiston.
Those are like the best players, it seems like.
And he'll go down swinging as that breaking slider eludes his bat. That is the 4th strikeout of the game for Dustin Shorey. Back to the top of the order for the Blue Hawks. Here's the second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan. Fouled out of play. Shorey looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on. Still a lot of good pop on his fastball. 61 pitches to this point. Shorey averages over 12 strikeouts per 9 innings, so a little over 1 per inning. Kalamayan able to hold up on that pitch, breaking out of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
Oh my gosh, he missed it.
Nice heat. 1-2.
You're like a foot taller than
You
the girl
gotta
trying to guard
be
you.
aggressive, but you gotta find a way to.
A swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dustin Shorey. And again, I'll repeat, Dustin looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on, buoyed by the 8-run inning his teammates put up in their last at-bats. Here's center fielder Berto Dieto.
Slow it down and just try to.
0 for 1 officially with the sacrifice bunt. And make that 1 for 2 as that line drive gets past the diving attempt by shortstop C.J. Townsend.
It was like 15 a game. Like, you don't do that by accident.
5th hit of the game for Dickinson State. They had 3 of their hits in the first inning when they scored their first run.
Batting the third spot.
And then a solo home run from Buckmaster, the 4th hit. And now that single by Nieto, the 5th. Here is the aforementioned Ballast Buckmaster. An RBI single his first time up, a solo home run his second time up. You do the math. He's accounted for all 2 of Dickinson runs today. Shorey gets his signal. Runner goes. Hit and run on. The throw to second base will be a little bit offline. So a stolen base for Alberto Nieto. So the Blue Hawks not playing it conservatively, down by 6. They get the stolen base from Nieto. For Alberto, that is his 15th stolen base of the season. He's only been caught once in those 16 attempts. He's the team leader in that category. Jacob Clinton right behind him with 12 bags. Chopped on the ground to the left side. Here comes Grade, the third baseman, and the throw is in time. 5-3 on the play. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. After 4.5, it's the Bellevue Bruins 8, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks 2.
Heading to the bottom of the 5th.
Heading to the bottom of the 5th inning, the Bellevue Bruins will have Sirwa, Townsend, and Kobayashi to bat as Michael Dow Goes over to talk to the home plate umpire. We may have some more changes here. Gabe, is that a pitching change? Yes, it is. Now pitching for the Blue Hawks, number 19, Gabe Lundbeck, a sophomore right-hander from Park City, Utah. Takes to the hill, Gabe Lundbeck.
Now on the hill for the Blue Hawks, number 19, Gabe Lundbeck.
Well, the Blue Hawks have used just about everybody on their staff in this four-game set as bright sunshine breaks out once again over John Stella Field in Brown Park. Whatever clouds had moved in earlier decided they were going to go somewhere else. For Gabe Lundbeck, this is his 9th appearance on the season, a 1-win, 1-loss record. He's thrown 7 1/3 in total, has allowed 3 runs, 1 earned, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts, a 1.23 earned run average. He will start off by facing Mathieu Sirois, and Sirois gets hit and not happy about it. So Mathieu will head down to first base. That's the second time he's been hit today. The other time he launched one 440 feet for the 2-run home run.
Wait, how far was that estimated?
That was about 440.
I got a video.
Next up comes the shortstop, C.J. Townsend.
Now at the plate for shortstop, number 7, C.J. Townsend.
Townsend 1 for 2 in this one.
The 11th hit batter of the series.
11th hit batter of the series by Dickinson pitchers. So Bruin batters wearing a lot of black and blue, but they've been scoring a lot of runs too. 0-1 the count on Townsend. Drag bunt attempt up the third base line. That's going to go into foul territory, however.
That just means whoever hits the next one after.
We got Gusty go. We can hit one more guy.
Yeah, we don't want anyone suspended. I know what you mean.
CJ, a member of the squad last year, hit .267 for the Bruins.
CJ hits one out, just cartwheel around the bases.
Played in 39 of the 62 games for Bellevue back in 2022. Next pitch misses away. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on the Bruins shortstop. Again, Brendan Luther, the starting shortstop, not available for this series after injuring his hand in the midweek game against Morningside. Chop to third. Cortese to second for 1. The quick turn at second will not be in time. Dawson Cortese making the initial grab of the ground ball. So 5-4 for the first out. Townsend reaching on the fielder's choice. Back to the top of the order. And Kanta Kobayashi.
Back at the top of the order, the center fielder, Kanta Kobayashi.
Kanta has a big swing. Back to the screen on the foul ball. Three home runs as part of that 8-run outburst last inning. On the inside corner, called strike. Kanta down 0-2. That's going to be a base hit. The 6th hit of the doubleheader for Kobayashi, going into the hole between third and short. Advancing to second is C.J. Townsend. So again, the Bruins with an opportunity to put more runs on the board. 4 hits at game 1 for Kanta, 2 more in game number 2. As Connor Barnett heads to the plate. Umpires signal to each other. As a reminder, this is an infield fly situation. If that should occur, as Lundbeck steps off the rubber to adjust his sleeves. Now he's back to work as Barnett awaits. Wide, ball one. Lundbeck delivers. Breaking ball, misses up. 2-0 the count on Connor Barnett. Outside corner, called strike, 2-1. Bellevue had several players on the conference first team last year. Connor Barnett, Kanta Kobayashi, Alec Ackerman, that are returning this year. So a good group of returning guys along with newcomers. That one just misses off the outside edge. Sirois was a second team all-conference player. Alex Salicio, honorable mention all-conference. Just off the handle, fouled back. Three balls, two strikes, full count on Barnett. Kanta Kobayashi at first, C.J. Townsend at second. Probably not going to run those guys here with just one out. They are running, and that one goes way wide anyway. So on the walk, the bases are full of Bellevue Bruins. Now Townsend at third, Kobayashi at second, and Connor Barnett at first. Let's see if we might have a pinch runner at first for Connor so we can take it easy.
She's got 34?
Yeah.
34?
What? Unrelated.
Oh, okay, sorry. Barnett looks like he is going to stay in as Michael Dow with a slow walk out to the mound. And this might be an injury consideration as Tyler Komicher, the Bellevue athletic trainer, also going out to the mound. And it looks like we've got a finger injury as Tyler comes out with either a gauze pad or a big bandage to attend to Gabe Lundbeck. Working on, looks like the ring finger of his throwing hand.
Never great.
Yeah, never great when you have an injury to your pitching hand, and not going to be easy to keep a Band-Aid on it if it's bleeding. Tyler getting some extra exercise as he's head back out to the mound again to attend to Gabe Lundbeck. And it looks more like the pinky finger maybe. What can you see there with the binoculars? Ring finger. All right, had it right the first time. Ding, 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 ding.
It's not switching to medical.
8 runs on 11 hits for the Bruins. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Blue Hawks. This medical timeout. Tyler's family here today, his wife and 3 kids. 2 twin boys that are 3 and another one that's going to be 2 soon. Love being at the old ballpark, running around, getting snacks. Life doesn't get much better than that. Being at the ballpark and getting snacks. Lundbeck's going to get a few practice tosses. Looks like he's going to be able to manage. And we're back to the action. Jake Lacey steps in.
Left fielder, Jake Lacey.
Lacey 2 for 2 in this one. Fly ball down the right field line, a long way to go for the right fielder. He will make the catch just inside of fair territory. The tag at third base. It's an easy score for C.J. Townsend on the sacrifice fly and RBI for Jake Lacey. Good hustle on the play by Jake Clinton to get there. If it's going to be a foul ball, you're going to want that one to drop, but it was right down the line, too close to decide.
Spot the catcher, Logan.
Konda Kobayashi also tags up on the play. He's now at third. Connor Barnett is at first, and the batter is catcher Logan Grant. Second RBI of this game for Jake Lacey. He had 3 in game number 1, so a 5-run batted in day for the Bruin left fielder. Pitch outside. Grant's already had a couple of runs batted in the last inning. To go along with 3 in game number 1. So both those guys at 3 and 4 hole spots, producing a total of 10 runs batted in the 2 games today. Lundbeck comes to a set. Just off the outside edge. Again, the catcher, Calvillo, holding at a little extra pace, hoping to get the call. Now 2-1. Up and in, 3-1. Even better hitters count. Grant can be very selective. Upstairs, he won't get the pitch he wants, so Logan Grant will draw the walk. Grant's been on 3 of the 4 times he's been up today. He'll give way to courtesy runner Takumi Maeno. And the batter will be Anthony Lind.
Takumi Maeno.
Lind went yard his last time up, the 2-run home run.
Batting the right fielder, Anthony Lind.
Gabe Lundbeck looks in, now steps off the mound. First disengagement. Now back to work. The windup and the pitch. Fouled out of play, first base side. Lind now with 4 home runs on the season. Stays away from that breaking ball that stays wide. Bases full of Bruins once again. 1 run in thus far on the inning on only 1 hit. Thought about chasing that one upstairs, but laid off. 2-1. Driven foul out of play. First game started at 12 noon Central Time. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning of the second game of the doubleheader. Again, Lind fouls it out of play, this time a little further down the right field side. Swung on and missed. So the first strikeout for Cade Lundbeck retires the side. The Bruins pick up 1 more run on 1 hit. There were no errors. 3 men left on base, however. The Bruins go into the 6th inning with a 9-2 lead over Dickinson State. So Dwayne Monlix with lineup card on. We've got another change coming up here for the Bruins. We'll see what that is as they get back out onto the field. Dustin Shorey head back out to the mound. So the Chandler, Arizona native strides back out to where he does his work on the hill. 6'5", 230-pound junior out of Chandler, Arizona. He's a pretty impressive and imposing figure out on the mound. Looks like the rest of the defense. Oh. Gage Julin will enter the game for the Bruins behind the plate. We saw Gage come in the first game today. He'll be working here with Dustin Shorey. So Gage Julin in for Logan Grant behind the plate. Gage is a sophomore, played his high school ball in Elkhorn, Nebraska, one of the western parts of the city of Omaha. Started his college career at Marshalltown Community College in Iowa. So Shorey and Julin, the combination for the Bruins right now. Dawson Cortese, the cleanup hitter, will step to the plate to lead it off in the top of the 6th inning. First pitch swinging, a comebacker. Shorey fields his position well. The underhand toss to Sawa. And one up, one down in the 6th. Here's Derek Calvillo, the catcher, getting his gloves on and getting set in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch swinging as well to the right side. Anthony Lynn moving towards the right field corner. He'll make the catch about 10 feet into fair territory for the second out of the inning. A quick start to the top of the 6th. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And the next batter, first baseman Richie Cortese. Shorey could tie a major league record here if he gets Cortese out on the first pitch. Minor league record, little league record, it's up. Well, it's not going to happen as that one slips out of his hand.
Cortese was probably taken anyway.
Yeah. You never know, though, in a game when you want to get back on the bus and get back home. 1-0 the count. Fouled out of play. Off the screen. Over by the third base dugout.
I think that's what she'd do with like better players around her.
Swing and a miss. Nice downward movement on that breaking ball from Shorey.
They'd be untouchable. Maybe for her 5th year.
A swing and a miss. Another strikeout in the books. That's the 6th strikeout of the game for Shorey. He's been averaging over a strikeout per inning. He's got exactly 1 per inning today.
1, 2, 3 inning.
As we head to the bottom of the 6th, the Bruins maintain their 7-run cushion by a score of 9-2 over the Blue Hawks. All right, another pitcher, the 5th of the game for Dickinson State. This is now number 16, Alex Stevens. Listed as a catcher on the program, the freshman out of Blaine, Minnesota will get an inning of work here. Alex Stevens.
Now on the mound for Blue Hawks, number 16, Alex Stevens.
New catcher as well.
New catcher as well. Let's see if we can find some information on Alex Stevens. This looks like, there he goes, the freshman. This is his 4th appearance. He's thrown 5 2/3 innings, can also catch. Any idea what that number of the catcher is?
I'm guessing 8 since he's listed as a catcher.
And we think the new catcher for the Blue Hawks is Caden Reeve. We think it's number 8, but with the catcher's chest protector blocking the back number.
Leading off to the Bruins.
All right, here we go. Back with the Bruins on offense. Third baseman, Nick Grade. First pitch fastball eludes the glove of the new catcher, Caden Reeve. Grade adding to his home run totals. That one hit to the other right side. Right fielder moving towards the line, setting up and making the catch. That is Jay Clinton for the first out of the inning. Oh, a 1-for-3 day for Nick Grade in this second game of the doubleheader. Next up, second baseman Drew Staley.
Now at the plate, second baseman Drew Staley.
Staley 1 for 2, also hit by the pitch and scored a run. Breaking ball on the inside half. Stevens works ahead, the fifth pitcher of the afternoon in this game. The Blue Hawks used 4 pitchers in game number 1. I believe they used 5 pitchers yesterday in game number 2 and 3 more in game number 1. Well, you got to have some arms if you want to play in the North Star Athletic Association. That one's fouled out of play. Ground ball to third. Cortese to Cortese. And there are 2 outs in the inning. Dawson to Ritchie. 5-3 in the scorebook as Mathieu Serrois steps back in. Mathieu with a couple of 400-plus foot blasts on the season for the Bruins. That 2-run home run today also hit by pitch 2 times. Breaking ball called strike 1 on the first pitch from Alex Stevens. Another breaking ball back through the box. Second baseman Keanu Katamayan to throw to first is just, nope, they say bobbled at first base. And we're going to put Bill on the spot once again. What do you call that, hit or error?
A tough play, will get my head, I guess.
All right, we'll call it an infield hit as a tough throw as Keanu Kalamaya was kind of handcuffed on the play going backwards. His throw at first base would have been an out, have been handled correctly or properly, but a bang-bang play, so we'll go a base hit on the play. Here is C.J. Townsend. Townsend turns on one down the left field line. It has some carry, and it's gone. The Bruins continue to bring out the home run shoes today. A 2-run home run for C.J. Townsend. His family listening in up in Oregon are going crazy as C.J. gets into that one and drives it deep over the fence for C.J. Townsend, his second home run. And 5th run batted in. So C.J. having some fun in the 9-hole.
Position, the center fielder.
And back to the top of the order, Kanta Kobayashi. Now, it took a while for the Bruins offense to get untracked in this second game. They didn't score through the first 3. But 8 in the 4th, 1 more in the 5th, 2 more in the 6th. Bounce to the plate, blocked up by Reeve, the catcher. C.J. used all 165 pounds of his frame to muscle that one deep. Kanta Kobayashi going opposite field, but waiting out there to make the play is the left fielder, Cade Ostenson, and the side is retired. 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. The 4th home run of this game by the Bellevue Bruin batters comes off the bat of C.J. Townsend. As we head to the top of the 7th inning of this 7-inning contest, it's the Bellevue Bruins 11, the Dickinson State Blue Hawks 2. Dustin Shorey heads back out to the mound to try to get the complete game. Easton Britton in game number 1 worked until the 9th inning. Elijah Borson coming in for a little bit of relief on that one, but Dustin Shorey now with an opportunity to get the complete game. Dustin does not have any complete games this year. In fact, just 15 innings pitched in his 4 previous appearances as he's been working his way back from injury. Looks like he's pretty fully recovered from that. Ba, ba, ba. Singing along to Neil Diamond as we head to the final inning of this contest. The Bruins trying to get the 4-game sweep. They did so against Viterbo to start the year, last weekend against Valley City. Hoping to do the same today against Dickinson State. Left fielder Cade Ostenson will lead things off for Dickinson.
Leading off for Dickinson State, left fielder Cade Ostenson.
Up by 9 runs with 3 outs to go. First pitch swinging, shallow center field. Kanta Kobayashi comes on and makes the play. 1 up, 1 pitch, 1 down, starting off similarly to what we saw last inning. Designated hitter Wyatt Wilharm steps in. 0 for 1 officially. Sacrifice bunt his first time up, and then a fly ball to left his second. Again, a first pitch swing comes up empty on the breaking ball from Justin Shorey. Again, the slider. Again, the called strike. Jake Clinton on deck. 7, 8, 9 part of the order. Wilharm lays off of that pitch, burying itself into the dirt. 6 strikeouts through the first 6 innings for Dustin Shorey. Off the handle, hit out of play.
Record for the lowest seed to ever win a women's championship.
Shorey with 76 pitches in the game. Very efficient with his pitches.
It's crazy when it's a 2, and when it's a 3, it's like, oh, let's break out the record books here, folks.
Gets his signal. Line to short. Off the shin of C.J. Townsend, trying to set himself up, and it took kind of a quick hop. Will scored an infield single for Wyatt Wilharm. So 1 on, 1 out. As the batter, right fielder Jake Clinton.
Now batting the right
Clinton 0 for 2 today. You don't usually see a hop like that off a artificial surface like this, but it kind of came up quickly off Townsend and glanced off his shin. Have a nice mark on that front of his leg tomorrow or later tonight. A souvenir he can wear for several days. Hit in the air to center field. Kanta Kobayashi looking for it at the warning track. And another home run robbing catch by Kanta Kobayashi. We saw that earlier this season. We saw it yesterday, and we saw it again today. That was clearly beyond the fence as his teammates out of the dugout waving their caps at Kanta Kobayashi as he robs Jake Clinton of a 2-run home run to take the Blue Hawks to their final out. Jake Clinton walking back to the bench shaking his head. That's the 3rd time this season we've seen Kanta go to the top of the fence and bring one back. Here is the second baseman, Keanu Kalamayan. Breaking ball for a called strike 1. A play you see normally maybe once a season. We've seen that 3 times this year by Kanta Kobayashi. Another breaking ball. This one clips the inside corner as Calamayan thought that was coming at him. Busted away across the zone. Now 0-2. Trying to finish it off. Here's the pitch from Dustin Shorey. He gets it done with the flourish, the strikeout. His 7th strikeout of the game. And the Bellevue Bruins complete the 4-game sweep of the Dickinson State Blue Hawks by a score of 11-2. The Bruins with 11 runs on 11 hits. 12 hits, no errors. The Bruins only 1 error in the entire 4-game series. For the Blue Hawks, 2 runs on 6 hits, and they committed no errors in this one. So with the victory, the Bellevue Bruins now go to 25-5 overall, 12-0 in the North Star Athletic Association. With the loss, Dickinson State drops to 12-19 overall, 4-8 in conference play as the two teams shake hands first with their own teammates. And then associate head coach Mitch Schmidt will start the line for the Bruins as they shake hands with the Blue Hawks. Looking ahead to the schedule, on Tuesday the Bruins will travel to York, Nebraska. That's about a 100-mile trip to take on the York College Panthers. Thank you. A brain freeze there. York College Panthers on Tuesday, 5 o'clock start for that one. Check with the York College website to see if they have a broadcast for that. And then Bellevue right back here at the friendly confines of John Stella Field to host Waldorf University out of Forest City, Iowa. April 7th, that's Friday. April 8th, Saturday, the weekend before Easter Day. 1 o'clock start on Friday, 12 noon start on Saturday against the Waldorf Warriors. The Bruins still having conference series against Presentation, and then Mayville, and then Dakota State to conclude this 2023 year. Still a lot of baseball to be played, but the Bruins, an excellent start on the season at 25-5 and 12-0 in conference play. Thanks once again to Bill for his great insight into the game, providing us with great details. Congratulations for Dustin Shorey picking up the complete game victory for the Bruins and for the 4 guys that went yard with those long balls. The Bruins turning it around for the 8-2 victory to complete the sweep. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and come on back next weekend for more exciting baseball action. Mick Krupski signing off for now. Thanks for joining us today on the Bellevue Bruins Sports Network. Take care.